Title screens are the first thing you see when you load up a video game, a sort of digital welcome mat to let you know what to expect from the game. But while some games are content to just put the name of the game and the words "Press Start" front and center, others go the extra mile and give you title screens that are fun, funny, or that give you a deeper understanding of the game itself. Here are 7 of our all-time favorites. Enjoy!
Okay. Don't say a word. Just keep walking, real casual, okay? Let's do this. I'll show it to you, but you can't tell anybody else where it is, okay? Deal.
Brütal Legend was a 2009 game from Tim Schafer's Double Fine Productions which starred Jack Black as Eddie Riggs, a roadie who finds himself transported to a fantasy realm based on heavy metal album covers.
I'm supposed to think you're a nun, but I know you're really some kind of big ugly demon, so let's have it. Aha! I knew it! Big ugly demon. Kinda sexy though, in a weird way.
To get to the parts of the game in which you're owning demons with sick guitar solos, however, you first had to experience the game's title screen, which began with an impossibly charming video in which Jack Black himself takes you record shopping in an LA music store.
Yes! Here it is. Okay. You sure you're ready for this? Because what I hold in my hand is not just gonna blow your mind. It's gonna blow your soul.
Having located the record he's after, Jack hands it to you to peruse, at which point you can hit start to open up the album sleeve and take a look, or just wait and watch the hands next to the album start to get impatient. When you do finally open it, you're treated to a selection of epic album artwork representing the game's different options, written on the cover, the record sleeve, and finally, the record itself. As arresting title screens and menus go, Brütal Legend is right up there with the best, letting you know exactly what you're getting into while putting the game's sense of humour and reverence for heavy metal front and centre before you've even started the game. And then you do start the game and realise it's actually a real-time strategy game, demonstrably the least metal genre there is. Still, killer soundtrack. Mario is undoubtedly the most popular and enduring Nintendo character ever, so when it was time for him to make the jump to 3D in his first N64 outing, Super Mario 64, Nintendo knew they had to pull out all the stops. Which is why they made the title screen a giant 3D model of Mario's face.
Hello!
This wasn't just a canned animation of a, to be honest, somewhat stoned-looking Mario, however. His eyes would follow your cursor around the screen, and he'd also track stars that circled him, even going cross-eyed when they got too close. However, the biggest treat for Mario fans was something that Nintendo clearly thought that people had been waiting for: the ability to mess with Mario's face. Using the hand cursor, players could grab various parts of Mario's face and pull them, push them, and stretch them in various directions, tweaking his nose, yanking his ears, and strenuously proving once and for all whether his mustache is real or a convincing fake. Honestly, I used to spend hours doing this. It's a wonder Mario did anything I told him to after this kind of abuse. If you've never heard of Rhythm Heaven, then oh man, let me tell you about Rhythm Heaven. It's a rhythm action game for the Nintendo DS in which you tap, swipe, and flick your stylus to the beat in one of 50 minigames which are, without exception, totally bananas. There's the one in which a farmer stamps turnips into the air and catches them in a basket on his back. The one in which you're a ninja dog. And this one, which is about a weird blobby alien DJ.
And stop! Oh yeah!
One of the best things about Rhythm Heaven, though, is the way that it never throws you in at the deep end. Each minigame is preceded by a short tutorial showing you what the game expects of you in the upcoming song, so you never feel like you don't know what's going on. Even if I do still have nightmares about the goddamn offbeat switch in lockstep. It's not just there that the game makes sure that you know what you're doing, however. The game's title screen, rather than asking you to press start, instead features a little smiling circle exhorting you to touch it. To start the game, you have to grab this circle and then flick it towards the top of the screen, which feels slightly cruel considering it hasn't done anything to us, but also makes us perform one of the basic actions we'll need to get through the game before it's even begun. So honestly, there's no excuse for messing up further down the line, unless you're playing lockstep.
Wow. What happens in Dubai stays in Dubai.
Come on, let's just find a way down.
You got it.
Spec Ops: The Line is a military shooter that trades the airstrikes and mounted gun sequences of most military shooters for deep introspection about whether war should be treated as entertainment and ruminations on the lengths people will go to justify their actions. I mean, it has mounted gun sequences as well, but you're supposed to feel bad about them. And while the story of Spec Ops: The Line plays out through the game, as Captain Martin Walker goes from cocky hero to broken villain, it also plays out on the game's title screen, which noticeably deteriorates the longer you play. At the start of the game, you're greeted with this title screen, which depicts a sniper sat underneath an inverted American flag, as Jimi Hendrix's distorted wailing version of the Star-Spangled Banner plays in the background. A bit on the nose, perhaps, but certainly not out of place in this kind of game. The more you play, however, you'll start to notice changes. Maybe the sniper has switched position and is looking through binoculars, or aiming at a distant target we can't see. The flag begins to become more tattered as well, and the colour starts to drain out of the image, reflecting the tone of grim desperation that starts to surface in the game itself. Get to the end of the game, and the title screen will show you that the sniper has died, and his corpse is being pecked at listlessly by crows. Night has also fallen, and the buildings in the background are ablaze. Finally, once you finish the game's epilogue, the sniper's body disappears entirely, leaving behind only a bloodstain, a tattered, fallen American flag, an almost total lack of colour, and a lingering sense that maybe we're actually the bad guys here. Not bad for a title screen. Just Cause hero Rico Rodriguez doesn't really seem like the rest and relaxation type. He's always either blowing things up, tethering things together, or tethering things together that then blow up. Which is why it's a surprise to see that the title screen for Just Cause 3 involves Rico enjoying some downtime on a sandy beach. He's kicked off his boots, poured himself a drink, and is generally enjoying the natural beauty of an island, which I'm sure would be 100% nicer if half of it wasn't on fire, as we can see in the distance, thanks to Rico Rodriguez. You can enjoy this tranquil setting for as long as you like before hitting start, but after that, when you load up the game to continue your adventures, he's not on a beach, but is instead chilling out next to a car somewhere scenic near wherever you last saved. Hit continue and Rico will stand up, the HUD will appear, and he'll go about his business, which I remind you is mostly blowing things up.
The surface.
What I like about this is that it implies that Rico has a rich, full life when you're not around to control him. Who knows what he gets up to when you're off doing something that isn't playing Just Cause 3? Oh, right. Surgeon Simulator 2013 tells the story of a guy who is somehow a surgeon despite having barely any control over his limbs. To be fair though, that's why the game is so hilarious as you flail your way through various high-pressure life or death operations, wildly windmilling your arms around like you just woke up in a bathtub full of snakes. But you can't be expected to go into these operations with no training, which is why Surgeon Simulator 2013 teaches you a little bit about how the game works through its title screen and menu system. That's because the title screen is your character's desk, which is packed with interactive objects for you to pick up, knock over, and generally trash with wild abandon. Your basic tutorials are displayed on your computer screen, running off a literal floppy disk. That being said, this is Surgeon Simulator, who needs controls? What else have we got here? Ooh, this looks like it might come in handy. There are also video cassettes you can fiddle with, secret codes to uncover, and a working phone you can use to call people, if you actually have the patience to tap out a number on the keypad using Surgeon Simulator controls. Also, there's your surgery list, I guess, which you can use to choose a mission and start the game, but I mean really, can we be trusted with a human life when we can't even put a video cassette in a VCR properly? I tried to warn you.
This is art. You will hear a buzzer. When you hear the buzzer, stare at the art. You should now feel mentally reinvigorated.
Portal 2 is a wonderful game that will be remembered for plenty of things, not least the bit where you're on the receiving end of a bollocking from a potato.
Oh, hi. So, how are you holding up? Because I'm a potato.
What it probably won't be remembered for, but really should, is its title screens. That's screens plural because Portal 2's title screen changes depending on the chapter of the game you're on, with each screen depicting a scene from that chapter. Each one is beautiful, a moving painting depicting scenes of industrial ruin or frenzied machinery, and the music changes from erratic electronica to a haunting melody that reflects the tone of the stage of the game that you're at. Before finishing up with Wheatley and the Space Corps just chilling in space. Does this count as a happy ending? Let's say yes. Have fun out there, guys.
I'm in space.
I know you are, mate. Yeah, we're both in space.
Those were some of our favourite ever title screens, but we want to hear from you as well. Let us know your favourites in the comments below, and like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this from Outside Xbox. Thanks for watching!